He's a 70-pound dragon wrapped in plate armor, and he's one of the most trafficked animals you've probably never seen. Meet the giant pangolin, Smutsia gigantea, a creature that looks like it crawled out of prehistory, covered in keratin scales, armed with massive claws, and built like a walking fortress. But beneath that armor is not a monster. It is a shy, nocturnal insect eater with no teeth, a long, sticky tongue, and a biological story that is being erased from our planet. Today, we're going underground to find one of the rarest dragons left on Earth. The giant pangolin belongs to the family Manatee and the order Phalidota, a lineage completely separate from true anteaters. People often call pangolins scaly anteaters, but scientifically, they are not anteaters at all. They are the only mammals on Earth fully covered in large protective scales, made of keratin, the same material found in human nails and hair. The giant pangolin is the largest of all living pangolin species, a powerful terrestrial mammal built for digging, tearing open insect nests, and disappearing before sunrise. Its body is a masterpiece of defensive engineering. The head is small and elongated, the snout is narrow, the tail is thick and muscular, and the front claws are built like excavation tools. It has no teeth because it does not need them. Instead, it uses a long, sticky tongue to harvest ants and termites from broken nests. When threatened, the giant pangolin curls into a tight armored ball, shielding the soft belly, face, and limbs. Against many natural predators, that defense can be extremely effective. But against traps, machetes, dogs, guns, and trafficking networks, even the best armor in nature is not enough. The giant pangolin is solitary, nocturnal, and extremely difficult to observe. During the day, it rests in burrows under dense vegetation, beneath fallen roots, or in hidden shelters. At night, it moves slowly through the darkness, sniffing the ground for chemical traces of ants and termites. This is not a loud animal. It does not roar. It does not chase. It survives by staying hidden, feeding quietly, and leaving almost no trace. That secrecy is one reason scientists still know relatively little about its population size and behavior in the wild. Its habitat stretches across parts of West and Central Africa, where it uses primary and secondary rainforests, gallery forests, swamp forests, wooded savannas, and forest savanna mosaics. Unlike the tree-climbing pangolins, the giant pangolin is mainly ground-dwelling and often prefers areas near water sources. These habitats matter because they provide both shelter and food. Termite mounds, ant colonies, loose soil, roots, and cover from predators and humans. Its feeding strategy is both simple and extraordinary. The giant pangolin is a specialized insectivore, focused mainly on ants and termites. With its strong forelimbs, it tears into termite mounds and underground nests, then uses its sticky tongue to collect insects by the hundreds or thousands. In doing this, it becomes more than just a feeder. It is a soil engineer. By digging, opening nests, and disturbing the ground, pangolins help aerate soil, recycle nutrients, and influence insect populations. In a healthy forest, even a silent animal can shape the ecosystem. Reproduction is slow, which makes the species especially vulnerable. Giant pangolin reproductive biology is still not fully understood, but females usually give birth to a single young. The baby rides on its mother's back while nursing and later begins feeding on ants. This slow reproductive pace means the species cannot quickly replace individuals lost to poaching or habitat destruction. When adults are removed from the wild, the population does not bounce back like a fast-breeding animal. It bleeds slowly and sometimes invisibly. Its relationship with humans is tragic. For millions of years, curling into a ball was enough. A leopard might struggle. A hyena might hesitate. But humans turn that defense into a weakness. A curled pangolin can be picked up, bagged, and carried away. Across Africa and Asia, pangolins are hunted for meat, local use, and especially for their scales, which are falsely believed to have medicinal power. There is no scientific evidence that pangolin scales have medical benefits, yet demand has helped push all 8 pangolin species into threatened categories. The scale of the trafficking is brutal. Traffic and IUCN reported that an average of about 20 tons of pangolins and their parts were trafficked internationally each year in the period they analyzed, with traffickers constantly shifting routes. The Pangolin Specialist Group also notes that since 2008, trafficking of African pangolin scales has increased, especially from West and Central Africa toward Asian markets. This means the giant pangolin is no longer only under pressure from local hunting. It is trapped inside an international wildlife crime economy. And then comes habitat loss. Forest destruction, agriculture, logging, roads, and human expansion are cutting into the landscapes the species needs. A giant pangolin cannot survive on armor alone. It needs intact ground, insect-rich habitats, safe burrows, forest cover, and enough darkness to move without disturbance. When the forest is fragmented, the animal becomes easier to find, easier to trap, and harder to protect. Today, the giant pangolin is classified as endangered. The Pangolin Specialist Group lists Smutsia gigantea as endangered, and World Land Trust summarizes the key threats as forest loss, trafficking of scales, and exploitation for local use and consumption. This is not just a conservation label. It is a warning that one of Africa's most unusual mammals is being pushed toward disappearance before science has even fully understood it. The giant pangolin is not a dragon. It is not a myth. It is a real mammal with an ancient design, a quiet life, and a critical ecological role. It controls insects. It turns soil. It carries evolutionary history in every scale. And yet, because it is silent, nocturnal, and hidden, the world often ignores its suffering. Nature's most perfect armor can stop a predator, but it can't stop extinction. The giant pangolin survived for millions of years by rolling into a ball and letting the world bounce off its scales. But in a world that moves faster than it can, silence has become its greatest weakness. Will we act before the last armored guardian of the forest disappears forever? Or will it become nothing more than a myth in our history books?